Hey, what's going on, Alphas? Welcome back to the channel. Alphonso speaks here, and welcome to a brand new series. Well, this isn't going to be a long series. I think we can knock this out in one episode. So, basically what this is, if you guys haven't already seen this story, heard of this story, or whatever the case may be, this is one of the examples of what we often see here in America with mega churches. Now, what I want to make clear before I get started in this thing is that this is not to target anybody who is a part of a mega church or runs a mega church. This is just an example of what some of these ministry leaders are doing behind closed doors with all this money that's coming in from their congregation. Now, this is not me speaking on something I know nothing about. I grew up in a mega church. I don't really want to say which one because I don't really have a whole lot of things to say as far as, oh, he's doing this or he's doing that, as far as like my old pastor went. But as many of you know, I'm no longer even religious. I don't attend anymore. But I think it's important that things like this are brought to light. Depositions like this happen. Because far too often, growing up in that church, I would walk in and the church is glorious and there's marble everywhere and the pastors are in the best suits and they're pulling up to service in Bentleys and things of that nature. And your first initial thought is, wow, look at the way God is working in their lives. Like, this is amazing. And then you think about it and you're like, wow, wait, all their money comes from the congregation, from tithes and offering. Why are they pulling up in Bentleys, but the people giving tithes and offering, some of them don't even have cars? Some of them barely have a place to live. Like, there's a lot of issues there. There's a lot of things I have a huge problem with. And again, this is not to throw any accusations at anybody for anything, because I don't know the fine details of how any of those things came to be. But in this one, this man was actually taken to a deposition. He was investigated. And it came to find out he was mishandling a lot of things, a lot of funds. So we're going to take a look at this today because this is something new and it's something I think you guys will find interesting. And I want to share this with you guys. I watched this so many times, but I probably haven't watched it in about 2 or 3 years at least. And I just randomly remembered it. And I was like, how cool would it be to do a reaction to this one? Because it's like one of my favorite videos. So we're going to take a look at it. Before we get started today, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel for more content. We have more of this stuff coming. It's going to be great. And share the video as well. Share the channel, share the video with your family, your friends, people that you love. People that you like, people that you don't like. Share it with everybody so we can continue to build this community. We are on the march to 5,000. We've gotten like 68 subscribers, 68 brand new subscribers just in the past couple of weeks. It's been absolutely tremendous, the love that you guys have been showing me in this channel. So I can't do it without you. So please, alphas, do what you guys know, that you got to do. Share this channel. So let's get into the deposition. Somebody managed to put together like the highlights, or should I say lowlights, of the deposition, because it's a long one. It's a whole bunch of parts, but this one, it's about 2 hours of highlights of it, and you guys will get the idea of what's going on. So let's take a look at it. Here we go.
We are now on the record. This is the videotape deposition of David E. Taylor, aka the Apostle. Today's date is February 10th, 2015. The time is now 10:41 a.m. My name is Nick Hauslander. I'm the video technician. This deposition is being taken at 2055 Orchard Lake Road, Sylvan Lake, Michigan, 48320, in the case of Deborah Ann Frazier versus Ricky Allen Frazier. Case number 2010-773-215-DM in the Oakland County Family Division. Could the attorneys please briefly identify themselves for the record?
David, you want to?
Sure. I'm Dave Potts. I represent the witness,
Dave Taylor. And
Cal-
those are my only clients.
Colleen Nordane appearing on behalf of Rick Frazier, who's to my left.
Gregory Utima, also representing Rick Frazier.
Could the court reporter please swear the witness?
May I have you raise your right hand, sir? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
I have a preliminary matter, if I just may make this statement. The court rendered an opinion in order regarding a motion dealing with a question of a privilege that was raised during the November 12th deposition. The court entered an order on January 28th requiring that the matter be held in the courthouse. Pursuant to agreement of counsel and pursuant to notice, the deposition is being held in plaintiff counsel's office, certainly with my permission and with my concurrence. But just so that the record is correct, this is an agreed upon relocation of the venue, and we've done this by consent.
That is correct, although if we run into a problem, I reserve the right to have it relocated to the courthouse. You understand? You're in agreement with that?
Yes.
Okay, and that we've agreed that we are going to rather liberally just get this deposition done, and I understand that we're going to adhere to the opinion, which may be on a question-by-question basis when it comes to spiritual matters, but in a cooperative way, and if necessary, we'll seek the guidance of the court.
Yes, it's my intention to try and live within the scope of the opinion. I read it. We've had an opportunity to discuss it. It's clear that the court's trying to give us some direction and guidance, but it may be that on a case-to-case basis we'll have to see where we go. But it's my intention to be more cooperative than less, and to try to read it as expansively but as narrowly as I can. That makes a quandary, but I think we
Okay.
know each other well enough that we're not going
Right.
to make a
gonna-
fight where we don't have to have one.
Exactly. Okay, Mr. Taylor, you were here for a deposition, let's see what the date of that was. What was it?
November 12th.
November 12th? And we ran out of time and rescheduled it for today, ultimately through court order. And I'd like to clear up a couple of the things that you said at the November 12th deposition.
Okay.
Okay? Who lives with you at 2008 Victory Lane?
No one.
No one lives with you there?
No, other than my son.
Well,
and
I mean, he
my dad.
counts.
Okay, yeah.
Whoever the human being is.
Yes, my son,
And who's your son?
Joshua Taylor.
And what's his date of birth?
The 12th, 21st, and it's 2000.
And
1999, I'm sorry.
who is his mother?
Tabitha Taylor.
Now you have older children, is that right?
No.
This
Oh,
is-
yeah. Oh, yeah, my daughter, Destiny Taylor. Yeah.
And her mother is Tabitha.
Hmm.
You have to answer yes or no.
Yes. Hmm.
Okay, so you have full custody of Joshua?
We have joint. Well, I think they give her the. What did the court say? The pastoral custody, where I don't know the terminology for it, but I know that I have. She keeps them half of the week, and then I keep them.
When you
other
say
half.
them, who are you referring to?
It's Joshua and Destiny.
Is Destiny an adult?
Yeah, now she is. She just turned 18 January.
Okay, so
Actually, here's what we're gonna do, guys. Here's what we're gonna do, because that's not the topics of discussion that are the most important ones. So this one right here, day one, part one, we're just gonna start here. How about that? Let's just start here. November 12th, because this is the day that she was referring to at the beginning. So when they said highlights, I'm not sure why they said it like that, but we're gonna go to this one, November 12th, 2014. This is where the juicy stuff is at.
We're on the record. The time now is 2:41 p.m. in the matter of Deborah.
I'm gonna skip ahead just a little bit. He's taking his oath not to lie, and then we're gonna get into it.
Yes.
just for the record, Mr. Taylor, you also go by the name of the Apostle?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to start by going over the records pursuant to the subpoena that we received and to clarify that we have what we've asked for. Thank you. I would state for the record that we have acknowledged that due to the time constraints and that we just received some of the documents that were kind of later than we expected, that we're going to have to continue this deposition, and everyone's agreed on a date of January 9th, 2015 at 10 a.m. Is that
Agreed.
correct, Mr. Cavalier, Mr. Jenkins?
Correct.
And Mr. Utuma, whether you're here or not. I have prepared an order, my secretary has, regarding the deposition and the continuing jurisdiction of the court, and I would just ask the attorneys to sign it. It's the same format as before. Mhm. And Mr. Taylor, you've stated that you are not in Michigan in November and December.
No, no.
Is that correct?
Yes.
You have to speak a little louder.
Yes.
All right, so you're not in Michigan in November or December of 2014.
No.
That's correct?
Yes.
Okay, and so you're saying you're not available for the deposition to be continued in either November or December?
No.
I think the answer is supposed to be yes. Can we kind of, I
Oh,
think he's getting
you're-
oh, you
confused.
said-
To be clear, you have no availability in November or
Right.
December
Exactly.
to continue this dep.
No, I do
And
not.
the
That's
first,
what I-
and the
no.
first available date is January 9th, 2015.
Yes. Right.
Okay.
Okay, and that you're not going to be in Michigan November or December?
No, not that I'm scheduled to be.
Does that mean that you may possibly be?
No.
Well, object, anything's possible. His schedule
Well-
reflects that his first available date is January 9th, and that's what we've
I'm
agreed to.
Yes.
focusing on being in Detroit or Redford or in Michigan during December and November, and you're saying you're not going to be.
Well, like I told you, one night with the king is
Right.
just one day, and I'm out. So.
That's
In
December 31st,
Mhm.
and is that in
That's-
Michigan?
Yes.
All right, I just want to go over the subpoena duces tecum so I can make sure that we have all the documents. And the first one is all records showing Mrs. Deborah Frazier's donations to Joshua Media Ministries International, JMMI, and/or any of its affiliates in 2012, 13, and 14, including but not limited to bank statements, money market accounts, certificates of deposit, etc.
So just for some backstory, I believe this whole deposition came about, you guys should be able to hear me better now. I believe this whole deposition came about because a member of the congregation who had been giving tithes and offering for a while started making some accusations about how her money was being used. And so, you know, without all the other like fine details about what specifically, you know, her name and all that stuff, I don't know. But basically, a member of the congregation got fed up. Here we are.
And I would note that may I ask you to identify this and tell me if that's what you're saying is in satisfaction of number 1 under the subpoena duces tecum?
You're asking me to identify a JMMI document? Why don't you ask?
You produced it to me in compliance with the subpoena. I'm just asking you to tell me if that's what you're suggesting is in compliance with number 1 under the subpoena.
Okay, this is in partial compliance. In
Okay.
addition to this, the 990s reflect
Hold
any
on.
contributions for 2012 and 13. 14s are not available.
Hold-
And
hold-
Let's skip ahead some more. Sick of this lawyer talk. Look, he's just sitting there not saying nothing for a while. Look at his face. Look at his face. Just sitting there listening. Let's skip ahead to the part where he starts asking questions. Answering questions.
Just now, yes.
Okay. And you understand there's a court order that indicates that you have to produce these items?
Yes.
Okay. For item number 2, where we're asking for, I'm sorry, let's go back to item number 1, where we're asking for bank statements. Would you agree that when somebody does a direct wire transfer from their account to another account, that there would be a bank statement that would reflect that for the receiving party?
Yes.
Of course.
Okay.
Yes. Mhm.
And you can you produce, consistent with the subpoena, the bank statements which show Deborah Frazier's wire transfers?
Yes, of course.
And do you want to tell me, is that still the 30-day?
Yeah, we'll produce them within 30 days prior to the January 9th date if the documents exist.
He's indicated they do. So you have bank statements that show wire transfers if they were given from Deborah Frazier's account?
Yes.
Okay. And I understand that on bank statements, it may not show only Deborah Frazier's deposit being made, but you obviously have bank statements that show various deposits that are made that would include Deborah Frazier's.
Well, yeah, if she wired it.
I'm not talking about wired one.
Okay, yeah, she gave her a check or cash. All of that's recorded and it's all itemized, yes.
All right, so
individually.
you would be able to tell me in what deposit those checks went into?
Of course,
And you
yes.
could provide me the bank statements?
Of course, yes. If that's appropriate, yes.
Well, that's what's been requested
Okay.
and ordered.
That's fine, yeah.
And all records showing how Mrs. Frazier's donations, this is item number 2, how they were spent, including canceled checks, invoices, etc. Now, when she makes donations, she has designated for what purpose. For example, Rosh Hashanah. What would Rosh Hashanah be?
It's a Jewish holiday that we, as Christians, observe, you know, on the Jewish calendar. It's a quite celebrated holiday in the Christian community, in some circles, large circles, but not everyone does it.
I personally have never heard of any Christian church I've ever been to, especially a black one, celebrating a Jewish holiday. Unless I'm tripping right now, I've yet to meet a African American Jew. Now there could be some like people that have like a Jewish parent and a black parent, so like it's not impossible. I just have personally never met anybody that would celebrate that in the Christian community. But if I'm wrong, you guys let me know. Tell me. That's what the comment section's here for. If you guys celebrate that or know anybody who celebrates that, I've never heard of it.
So when Mrs. Frazier made donations that were designated as Rosh Hashanah, my subpoena duces tecum asks for canceled checks, invoices, check registers, bank statements, etc., that would back up those donations being spent for that purpose.
Yeah, that Rosh Hashanah is not so much a statement for the purpose of the money being used. It's a holiday, and it's designating when she gave an offering, like everyone else.
So it didn't go for the purpose of Rosh Hashanah in any way?
Well, Rosh Hashanah is not, it's a holiday. It's a service called Rosh Hashanah. It's
Right.
no, like when I, you know, take up an offering for a specific thing, then, you know, like if I say we want to raise offering for an 18-wheeler truck, then, and I say we're going to use this money for that, then it goes directly to that. This is a...
What would you be? Why would you need to buy an 18-wheeler truck? You know what? Let me not rush the judgment. I'm gonna hope for the best out of this, right? Oh, we wanted an 18-wheeler truck so we could, collect donated food or items and take them to places and people in need. Maybe that's why they needed it. I don't know.
Service, such like a Sunday morning service or Easter service, and you don't purposeful when the people give donations. You don't say where it goes to the Easter egg. Do you understand what I'm saying? The Rosh Hashanah is the name of a Jewish holiday.
No, I'm aware of that.
Okay, great.
How long do you think Rosh Hashanah lasts? How many days?
10 days, normally.
Now, one of her donations is listed as a money order.
Mm-hmm.
And would you have deposited that into the general fund?
Yeah, I'm sure it would go there.
All right, and you can produce a bank statement that would correlate with that deposit.
We have everything on record.
Okay. When she talks about a leadership conference in Taylor, what would that money be related to?
Well, there are different services that are held, and we have people who attend those services and they give in those services. So when you see leadership is designating the type of service we're having, do that make sense?
So you have a specific service called a leadership conference?
Yes, where I teach leaders.
And do people have to pay to go into that service?
No, everything is free. They donate freely in the offering.
Now, is there a reason you didn't bring the documentation that backs this up because you say it exists?
It's not a reason we didn't. I just think that maybe my office didn't quite understand everything that was asked for in detail like you're asking. But it's no problem. We can provide that.
Right, when you say your office,
Yes.
where would that be?
I have an office here in Taylor, Michigan.
And what's that address?
2320. What is that? Superior Road.
What are the numbers?
I'm saying 320. 20320.
Wait a minute. Say it
Superior
again.
Road, 20320.
Okay, 5 digits.
Yeah.
Okay, Superior,
Road.
and that's Taylor.
Michigan.
Is this designated as an office on the outside of the building?
I'm sorry, what are you saying?
When you look at this 20320 Superior Road in Taylor, what does the outside of the building look like? Does it say JMMI? What does it say?
Yeah, it says JMMI.
JMMI? And do you take up the entire building?
For what now?
For JMMI, for your office?
We don't have to use the entire building for office facilities. We just use part of it.
What's the rest of the building used for?
Having services.
Is this the church in Taylor that you go to?
I don't understand what you're asking. Can you rephrase?
Isn't there a church that you give services out of in Taylor?
Oh yeah, on Sunday. But yeah.
Is that this same building?
We let them use the building on Sunday morning.
Okay, when you say we let them, who's we and who's them?
JMMI owns the building, and there's a church called Kingdom Family Church that they are just getting started, so they don't have a large overhead or nothing like that. We allow them to use the building on Sunday, since I use the building more so for massive conferences and services, things like that.
When did JMMI purchase this building?
I think that was in maybe 2 years ago. Yeah, a little over 2 years ago.
Does it have a mortgage?
No, it's paid off.
So did these was it Kingdom Family?
KFC, Kingdom Family Church.
Did then they pay rent?
Not really, no.
Okay, let me place an objection on the record. I've given a lot of latitude so far in this very brief deposition, but the objection is to relevance.
Yeah.
I don't know how this possibly relates to
Your
the
objection's
issues
noted.
of parenting time and or spousal support.
There's more to it than that.
Okay, you can go ahead and answer
Um,
the question.
So when you say your office, are you referring exclusively to this 20320 Superior Road building?
Yes.
You do not have an office in any other city or state?
Yes, we do.
Okay, do you want to tell me about those?
And we're getting those more established. One in St. Louis, another in Budapest, Hungary, Europe, Korea, Arizona. So,
You have offices in those 4 places?
yes.
All right, may I have the address of the St. Louis office?
We used to use a P.O. box for that.
I want the actual street address.
Well, we are just getting things established there for us before we get a building. So I usually use my P.O. box as an address for that. So to say that we have just offices in a public building, like I usually use my Taylor residence for the professional address.
All right, so wait a sec, the Taylor residence?
Taylor building, Taylor office facilities.
All right, you used it as, you referred to it as a Taylor residence. Do you own a home?
No, I'm sorry. I mean Taylor building on Superior.
Okay,
It's in a corporate area, so it's a office building. It's not a residence. Sorry.
okay. But it's also used as a church by some people, at least?
Yes, we allow churches to use.
Okay, so the office is, are you saying there is no physical place in St. Louis that your ministry operates out of?
No, I mean a building physically. I used to have one, but not now. I moved all of my physical, I want to say resident. What word should I use? I moved all my physical place here in Taylor.
So there's nothing in St. Louis anymore?
A P.O. box.
Well, that's not a
Well, our
destination.
mail go there. That's huge. It's massive. It's huge.
So when you say that's huge and massive, are you referring to the amount of mail you get there?
Well, mail. I mean, corresponding with people is very important to us. So that's big to us.
But you don't have any place in St. Louis that you work out of or anybody else works out of?
We may work out of our little home or whatever with a computer. Or
What do you mean your little home? What does that mean?
well, I mean, like if I have a staff person, until we raise enough money to buy another office facility in that area, then we do it out of my staff that is there. They do it out of the place they may live. So that's
They
why
do
I'm
it out,
saying.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Do it out of
Yeah.
the place that,
Yeah, their little office that they have in the place they stay in at this time.
you
So
mean
that's why
somebody
I'm
could
telling
be
you,
working technically, in your opinion, out of their home?
like you do out of yours, right?
No.
I mean, you have
I
a
have an
computer.
office.
Yeah, I know, but you have a computer at your home, and you have an office. I have an office too. It's here. So I'm saying I travel. I'm mobile. I live in St. Louis, so there are things that have to be done there. So we take laptops. I'm sure you got a laptop, right? Yeah.
This isn't about me.
Yeah. But I'm just trying to
Well,
give you an
I'm trying to
understanding.
figure out,
Yes.
where was the building that you say you no longer have? What was that address?
That was in St. Louis on Patterson. I can't remember the address.
You don't know the address of the building that you
Oh,
own?
yeah, it's been years ago.
You said it was just a couple years ago.
No, I didn't say couple. I said years ago.
How many years ago did you cease owning this building?
I didn't own it. It was a rental property.
It was a rental property in St. Louis?
Yes.
And what was the purpose of that property?
Office facilities.
And how big was it?
Objection to relevance.
Okay.
You can answer the question, but I'm going to place a standing objection on the
That's
record.
fine.
It was probably about 3,000 square feet, just for office facilities. Yeah.
And you paid rent to somebody? Who did you pay it to?
I don't remember the guy's name who owned it.
Okay, but you don't have any physical facility that you operate out of
I
in
don't
St.
have a
Louis?
building there. My building, like I said, I moved my offices here.
No, I understand, but
Okay.
aside from an office, anything else, even
That's
that?
what I'm saying.
No,
We
let me
moved-
just finish so we're real clear what I'm asking.
Okay.
Anything even other than an office?
I've shared with you that
Let
they
me
may
just
do
let me
it-
finish so you
Okay.
can understand.
Okay.
I'm not talking about people that work out of their home.
Yes.
I'm talking about any other building or facility that you or your ministry works out of in St. Louis.
Yes. I have staff who work out of a home that they
No, I understand that.
may
I'm asking
live
you
in.
about something else.
I'm just saying I don't have what you're asking. I don't have a physical building there like that. It's up here in Taylor. This is where our professional offices are.
Where's the residential center that is on your asset and liability sheet?
Oh, it's in St. Louis.
Okay.
But that's not an office.
I'm not,
Yeah.
I asked a few times, it doesn't have to be an office. Any facility, building, structure that you work out of, office or otherwise.
Okay.
So there is a residential center.
Oh, yes, Of course. You should have said that earlier.
Well,
I didn't know
no,
what you
you should have
said.
answered earlier.
No, you didn't.
Residential
You didn't
center.
explain enough.
Residential center is in St. Louis.
Be direct and specific so I can answer your question.
Sir, that's why I was suggesting you not interrupt me so that I could finish the sentence and you'd be real clear what we were asking.
Okay.
So a residential center does exist in St. Louis?
Oh, of course, yes.
Okay.
But that's, that's not an office.
It doesn't have to be an office.
Okay. I
Any-
thought you was talking about a professional location like this.
No,
We have that in Taylor. Okay.
I did not limit my question to an office.
Okay, so yeah, be more specific so I can know what you're saying.
I believe I was. All right, so
Not
what is
really.
this residential center?
Oh, this is a place that the ministry owns. Well, not own. We're in the process of buying that. Yeah, we don't
So are
own
you
it yet.
renting to buy?
Just so you guys know, the residential center that he's talking about is a vacation home. It's a huge mansion in St. Louis, Missouri. That is the residential center. That's why he was so hesitant to bring it up. That's why he was kind of jumping and dodging around the question, because in actuality they own a big house that they use for retreats and things, and it'll come up as it'll come up soon, as the deposition continues. But just so you guys are aware, it's a huge mansion with a whole bunch of bedrooms, swimming pool, all that good stuff.
Buy or you?
Yeah, we're leasing to buy. Mm-hmm.
You have that as an asset of $2,844,500. So do you own it?
I just answered that, didn't I? I said we didn't own it.
Okay,
We are
but
leasing to
where
buy
does
it.
the, I'm sorry?
We're leasing to buy it. Did you? I thought we just said that.
All right, but
Yeah.
you have listed it as an asset worth $2,844,000.
Oh, that should be more of a liability. Yeah.
Would you like to take a look at the
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
hold on a minute.
Get the liability on page 2?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. What we have already paid compared to what it's worth. Is that what you're saying? What?
You
Because
listed it.
it's not paid off. Like,
All right, so where does the number $2,844,000 come from on your
that's the
asset and liability?
That's, I guess, the appraisal value of the home or the residential center. Yeah.
Is it a home?
No, it's a residential center. We use it.
All right,
For
so You're saying it's not something you own, but you have it listed as an asset of $2.8 million.
That's probably a mistake. Like I say, it probably should be a liability. Yeah, that should be a liability. I think that was an error there.
Who prepares this? This document called balance sheet?
I don't know. I don't know which one of them. I have 3 people in the office that could do this, so I don't know which one.
Who would those
actually.
3 people be?
Michelle, Ashley.
Or Michelle, is it just Michelle?
Probably, yes.
And her last name?
Brannon.
Brannon?
Yes.
Okay, and the next person?
Ashley Ware.
How do you spell Ashley?
Ashley.
And how do you spell Ware?
Ware. Okay.
And the next one?
Bashira. I really don't know how to spell that one. Bashira.
Is it a man or woman?
It's a lady.
Bashira?
Yeah.
And her
Bashira.
last name?
You know, I'm trying to pronounce that. Hargus.
Can you just spell it?
Haque, something like that. Yeah.
Are these all employees?
No, they are volunteer workers. One is an employee.
Who's the employee?
Michelle.
And these 2 people are volunteers?
Yes.
Do you have an accountant that does any kind of accounting work for you?
We have a private firm, yes.
And who is that?
Davis and Associates.
Davidson?
Davis and Associates.
Davis and Associates?
Mhm.
And where are they located?
In St. Louis.
So you don't know who prepared this balance sheet?
Like I say, it could have been one of those 3. I don't want to tell you a story. I can't tell you exactly.
I don't
who
want
did
you
it.
to tell me anything you can't
Yeah,
verify.
so I don't
But
know.
your accountant did not.
Now, what are you asking? Are you asking if the accountant did the balancings, or did someone provide these sheets to you? What are you saying? What are you saying?
In terms of who prepared this document about assets and liabilities, would your accountant have prepared this?
I don't think my accountant did that. I think that the internal office tried to answer your questions, and they pulled information from maybe documents that my professional firm did and tried to give you what you needed.
So were these documents created for the purpose of this deposition, or did they exist before?
Oh, they exist before. We have everything documented. Everything. Every penny.
But you acknowledge that you believe this 2.8 million is an error.
It has to be, because the residential center is not paid off. So it couldn't be an asset, right? It's a liability. I think that's how the banks would show it, right? You would know that, right?
I don't answer questions. This is one way I
Okay,
ask
I'm just
you.
saying, I'm
Okay.
trying to get understanding.
All right, so tell me the residential center. Did we get an address for that? No, I need an address for the residential center.
Yeah, 24,000 Tempage.
What is it?
Tempage, Timpage.
T-I-M. That's the name of the street?
Yes, Tempage.
That's right, Timpage?
Tempage, yeah.
Avenue, road, anything?
I think it's road, probably.
24,000 Tempage Road, St. Louis, Missouri. Or is it Tempage Drive? Let's see. Let's try Tempage Drive. Can't be this. Can't be this. Let's see. Let's try Chesterfield. Chesterfield must be a suburb. Okay, so this isn't the house, but I think this will give you an idea of the location, the area that the house is in. So, as you guys can see, This is like tempage. This is that tempage area. So this one is 15400. Estimated market value $2,315,000. So again, this isn't the exact house, but this will give you an idea of the kind of houses that exist around the house that this ministry purchased. So you can see here 5 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms. I mean, look at this place. Like, this place is massive. It's really beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. I would never shame anybody for buying something like this as long as they purchase it with money that belongs to them and that they got by ethical means. I could also never see myself living in Chesterfield, Missouri. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. But again, that is the area, right, in which the location is. So, you know, just keep that in mind as you're watching this deposition, right, where they purchased this property at.
You're renting with an option to buy?
Yes,
And who is the owner then?
the ministry. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The ministry is renting with the option to buy. The owner is Harold Lewis.
Okay, and what goes on at the residential center?
Well, I mean, it's
Objection to form of the question. What are you trying to ask?
yeah.
What is its purpose? Who goes there?
It is really it's a gathering place for our ministry where I bring in different leaders and also the staff that we have as a place of maybe resort and teaching and training.
Resort?
Yeah, teaching. A resort where we teach and train.
What do you mean by the word resort? Usually people think of that as...
Maybe I'm not saying it right. Let's strike that word. Maybe it's a place where they can come and be refreshed. Like, I don't know if you have ever been on Christian retreats or things like that where people can go and hear the word of God and also relax and that kind of thing. So,
But it's not a church.
No, it's not a church.
Do people live there?
It's habitable, yes. We could live there. We could stay overnight.
Do people stay overnight and live there?
No, people stay overnight. When I have guests in, they could come in and do that. But I have my own apartment. I stay in a small apartment.
In the residential center?
No, I have my own personal apartment.
Okay, we'll get to that. But
So what I'm saying, so the residential center is used, it has bedrooms and stuff like that, so you can stay in there. But it's more so used for a retreat and a place where, people can be refreshed. Am I answering right? Am I okay? Okay.
You're confident of that address that you gave me on Tim Page?
Yeah, 24,000, is that right?
You tell me.
I thought that is.
You're confident of that address, though?
I think so. I think that's right. Am I wrong? Do I need to look something up? What's the...
You're answering the question to the best of your knowledge.
Yes, thank you.
Is it possible that it's 15,400?
Oh, yes, that's right.
Oh, well, in that case, we did find the right place. Wow. We found the right place. So this actually is the house. So, 15400 Tempage Drive, Chesterfield, Missouri, 63017, 5 bedrooms, 9 baths, 8,204 square feet. Estimated at $14,718 of the congregation's money every month. Built in 1991, single family home. And yeah, this is crazy. It looks like it's off the market as well, from what I had just seen. Yeah, so it was just sold in 2021. Let me see something. Actually, let's take a look at the history here. So this deposition was in 2014. It was listed for sale on July 14th, 2013. It was removed on December 22nd, 2013, which could be when the church got involved with the property. Then in 2018, it was listed for sale. The listing was removed. It wasn't selling. It dropped significantly in value, like $500,000 in value here in 2020, before it was finally sold in 2021. I'm not trying to report a problem. Oh, okay. I thought I was opening up the report. So I don't know how much it was sold for, but the last time it was listed, it was about for 1.9 mil, and it was sold. So I'm guessing the church no longer owns this property. But again, this is the property. This is what I was telling you guys, is the residential center. You can see how there would be an issue with someone paying for a property like this with the congregation's money, while a lot of the congregation is homeless or doesn't have a car or is struggling to survive, and you buy something like this. Quite interesting. And, obviously you could definitely hide it in your books as a residential center, right? With that phrasing. But at the end of the day, this is just a place where people who were top leaders just came to have a good time. I find it very hard to believe that there was any type of training or anything going on here. This was just a place for them to bask in whatever money that they had. And again, it's sad. Like, this is the type of stuff that a lot of people's money is going to when they donate money to these mega churches. It's very unfortunate because it's not fair. It's really not fair. And again, it's not all mega churches, but a lot of them are doing this.
15,400. That is right. That's totally off. Thank you guys. Y'all are sharp.
I'm going to show you a picture of 15,400 Tim Page.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in a residential neighborhood.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And it is a home.
Yeah, but it's a residential center. That's what the ministry.
Right, but this is in a residential neighborhood. Is that
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
okay.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
Is it like a subdivision with different houses up and down the street?
I don't think I would call it a subdivision, but it's other homes around it.
So it is.
Yes.
Does
it's
this
a residential area? Yeah.
Do the neighbors there know you're operating a ministry out of there?
Mm-hmm.
They got to answer yes or no.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And this is actually not listed as St. Louis. It's listed as Chesterfield.
Yeah, I said that earlier. Yeah.
You did.
I said
No,
Chesterfield, Missouri.
No, you didn't.
You said
Did
St.
you hear me
Louis.
say that?
You're being argumentative.
Yeah.
Objection. He did say Chesterfield. I have it written down.
You're not
I
listening.
didn't hear it.
You're not listening.
He didn't say Chesterfield. Did you guys hear Chesterfield? I didn't hear Chesterfield because I ended up searching St. Louis and ended up finding Chesterfield. But we just found the house, guys. We found it. Yay!
I'm sorry, but I am very careful.
Not really.
Okay, so the residential center is in Chesterfield, Missouri,
Chesterfield. Yes.
and it's actually what had been used as a home by people previously. It's not an office building or.
Oh no, it's
Okay.
not. It's not in a business center area.
Okay.
It's in a residential area, but it's remote. It is not like a barn. It's spacious, so you can understand what I'm saying.
Well, it says it's 8,204 square feet.
Yes.
Okay, and you told me the owner was
Harold Lewis.
Harold Lewis? And
Yes.
who is Harold Lewis?
He is a sports agent for many years.
Does he reside in that house?
No.
And do you know where he lives?
Yes, but I can't give his address. I don't know that information.
What city or what state?
Oh, Lake St. Louis.
Lake St. Louis?
Yes, Lake St. Louis. That's another suburb out by Chesterfield.
So is it in Lake or St. Louis?
Maybe, what did I say?
You said Lake St. Louis, which I didn't think made sense.
Yeah, I'm probably quoting that wrong. It's an area. It's like a suburb, and there's Lake. I think it's Lake St. Louis. Lake. I'm not sure. I'm not positive, but I know it has Lake something in it.
So you're purchasing this home from Harold Lewis?
Yes, the ministry is. Not I, the ministry.
And when you say it's remote, how do people get there then?
I mean, it's not just, it's a gate. So,
Gated community?
yes, not community, the house is gated.
How many nights a year would you say that you sleep there?
Oh, I don't know, because I'm always traveling on the road.
You can
And-
approximate.
And I'm in, usually when I have guests or, I don't know, I really don't have, what are you looking for? How many, I don't have.
How many nights would you spend?
It just,
At
it
that
varies, it
residential center?
depends, if I'm traveling or if I'm in my own apartment or, usually
can
I'm out of town
approximate.
so much.
Right, I understand.
Yeah.
But still, how many nights would you spend there?
If I'm there for a week, I may spend 2 nights and just check on things. But
What do you mean,
I
just
can't really
check on
say.
things?
well, I mean, it's a residence, It's something you must check on, keep up.
Now, you said you have an apartment,
Yes.
and what's that address?
2008 Victory Way Lane,
20
2008. 2008 Victory Way Lane,
Victory,
Way Lane.
in what city?
Florissant, Missouri.
Can you spell that?
Florissant, Florissant.
All right, let's see if we can look this up. 2008 Victory Lane, Florissant, Missouri, I think. Florissant. Okay, so it looks like I can't be dropped there. Okay, that's fine. Let's just drop as close as we can. You want me to believe, sir, please, man, please. You want me to believe that you live over here? That's what you want me to believe. You want me to believe that you live over here. Like this is the home that you stay in. This is the neighborhood that you are choosing to stay in instead of a $2.8 million home. This is what you want me to believe. Sir, goodbye. Goodbye.
How far is that from Chesterfield?
Probably 35 minutes.
Okay, and then All right, so how many nights a year do you sleep at the apartment?
I can't say. I don't know how to answer that. I really don't know how to answer that.
Just an approximation.
I can't say.
Well, how often do you go to the apartment?
I'm out of town so much, but I'm trying to think. What are you looking for?
In the last 3 months, how many times have you gone to the apartment?
Okay, now you're making sense. Okay, so we probably could say, narrowing it down like that, maybe 10.
And then in the
Okay.
last 3 months, how many nights or times would there be at the residential center?
Maybe 5, something like that.
So even though it's called a residential center, you don't have people staying there continuously.
No,
There is nobody that resides there
no,
as their primary residence.
no.
And what do you pay in rent on the apartment?
900 and something. I'm not sure. It's about 9.
And does anybody else live with you there?
How do you not know your rent?
Well, my babies, my 2 children.
Your babies
they-
live there?
Yeah, Joshua and Destiny.
Joshua, what's Joshua's full name?
Objection to relevance.
That's okay. What's his name?
Joshua, do I need to answer that?
Yeah, you can go ahead and answer, but with the understanding that this is an
I understand.
ongoing objection.
I get it.
Okay.
Okay.
Joshua,
Caleb Taylor,
how do you spell Caleb?
Caleb.
And how old? What's the date of birth?
He's 15 years old.
What's that date of birth?
December the 21st, 1989.
1999, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay, and your other child?
Destiny Taylor,
How do you spell that?
Destiny.
And her middle name?
Nann.
And
Taylor.
her date of birth?
January 16th. 1987. She's 17.
Okay, and when so you threw me there when you referred to them as your babies. They're actually teenagers.
I know. You know, they're always children to your father. They'll always be my.
Do you have any other
Babies.
children?
Yes. Isaiah Webster.
How do you spell that?
Isaiah.
Middle name?
I don't have that. Webster.
You don't know his middle name?
No, I don't think he has one. Yeah. Webster.
And his date of birth?
How do you not know if your kid has a middle name or not? So now, like, this is giving you kind of little insights into his character. You can assume what you want about him, you know, just based off of that. I don't know about any of y'all that have kids that you take care of all the time. I know my kids' full names, and I know their birthdays. Never forget.
His date of birth is February 3rd, 1990. No, I'm sorry, 2000. Sorry, 2003.
Any other children?
That's it.
3? All right, when you refer to Joshua and Destiny, you say they live at your apartment?
Hmm.
You can answer yes or no.
Oh, yes.
Is that full time?
No, it's joint custody with their mom,
And who's their mother?
Tabitha A. Taylor,
And where does she live?
in St. Louis.
So if you're traveling so much and you only get to these places, you know, whatever, 10 times in 3 months, is that the primary place that you see Joshua and Destiny?
No.
Where else would you see them?
I have an apartment.
No, I'm talking about the apartment.
Hmm.
Is that where you see them?
Well, you asked about how often I go to the residential center. You didn't ask about the apartment.
No, I
So
asked
that's where
about
we really
both.
stay.
I asked
Well, no,
about
you
both.
weren't specific about the apartment directly. The time we have there. Your questions was about the residential
I asked
center.
both, and you said in about 3 months you would probably go there about 10 times, and you paid
Mhm.
$900 a month in rent.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you was asking about the residential center. No. When I'm in town, it's more than that there at the apartment where I pay $900. I thought you was speaking of the residential center. I'm sorry.
Okay, so at the
Yeah.
apartment,
Mhm.
in a 3-month period of time, how often do you think you stay there?
I try to make it back every weekend. So, in 3 months, you would say out of 12 weeks, you would say maybe 12. No, maybe I'm sorry, 11 at the most, and 9 at the least, if I'm really busy.
All right, so when you said 10 times in 3 months, that's kind of accurate then, isn't it?
Yeah, but I thought I was referring to that was really another amount for the residential center to check on things. Yeah.
All right, so the residential center, you also spend approximately 10 nights in a 3-month period of time?
Not really, no. I was referring to maybe going there. That's what I thought you were referring to. So.
Not sleeping there?
No, but I have slept there sometimes.
Are you the caretaker of the residential center?
Well, I'm the caretaker, but I have help. My staff helps. So I usually will have them go out there and take care of things when I'm gone. So
When you
I don't
refer
know
to
if I could say I'm the caretaker because I'm always gone. So I have a staff that really see to it.
Who's
care
the
for it.
staff that you refer to in doing that?
It's a list of people.
Where's the key to the place kept?
With the caregiver, the person who we have look at the place.
All right, who is that person?
James Gregory.
And is he on staff
Yes. Mm-hmm.
with JMMI?
Mm-hmm.
You have to answer yes or no.
Yes, also. Yeah. Yes.
And is he volunteer or paid?
Volunteer at this time.
And he has the key in his possession.
Yes.
I'm gonna get to Who is the mother of Isaiah Webster?
Monica Webster,
Where does she live?
in Washington State.
What city?
I'm not sure now. It was Tacoma.
West Tacoma?
Yeah.
Were you married to Miss Webster?
No.
Do you have any kind of custodial relationship with Isaiah?
Yes.
And what is that?
Just, I'm his father, and I have the rights to see him and have him. So.
Okay, but what I mean by custodial
Okay.
relationship, do you have any kind of joint legal, joint
Oh, no.
physical?
No.
Nothing on paper?
Mm-mm, no.
You got to answer not.
No.
Okay, so when was the last time you saw him?
It's been a while now.
What would that be? Just approximate.
Maybe a year. Yeah.
Are there court proceedings related to this child? Paternity,
I
child
understand.
support?
Oh yeah, child support.
You
Yes.
pay child support?
Mm-hmm.
You have to answer, I'm sorry, yes or no.
Yes, I do.
And how much do you pay in child support?
$450 a
$450
month. Yes.
a month?
Mhm.
And what about the 2 other children?
$750.
$750 a month for Joshua and Destiny?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And were you married to their mother?
Yes.
I'm sorry. And her name was Tabitha.
Yes.
And when were you divorced?
In February of 2010.
And in what county and state?
St. Louis. All these questions necessary.
I placed a standing objection on the record.
Okay. Do I have to answer, or do I still have to answer?
You have to answer the question.
I would just note that you're having a conversation with the deponent, just for the record.
I'm indicating that he has to answer the questions.
Okay. Oh, I'm going to go back on this. So when someone says to you, where is your residence, well, tell me what your answer is.
I let them know where I live.
And where would you say that is?
My apartment, 208 Victory Way Lane.
Okay, so that would be where you actually reside. I'm sorry, reside.
Mhm.
Do you have a driver's license?
Yes,
And what address is on that?
2008 Victory Way Lane.
And when you refer to your babies, your two teenagers, do they live primarily with their mother if you're traveling so much?
Well, she has them if I don't, come back like in 1 week or so. Of course, they're with her, but we have joint custody. So she has them half of the week, I have them the other half.
Except you say you travel so much that you're not really around.
And but I did tell you, I try to come back like on the weekends. That's what my time is,
So do you see your children every weekend?
mostly.
Okay. And that would be in the apartment?
Yes, or wherever we go. They've come out to the residential center too, so
To sleep overnight?
yeah, they've done that before.
Now, has Debbie Frazier ever been to the residential center?
Is that something I should answer, or? Yes, she has.
And when was that?
When was the last time? I think the 4th of July. No, I don't. I'm trying to remember if the 4th of July was the accurate time, because we had the staff out, so I think she was there.
And would she have swam in the pool there? Pardon me?
I'm not sure.
Are there dogs there?
Dogs?
Yeah, are there ever dogs that are at the residential center?
No.
So when Debbie Frazier goes to St. Louis, do you know where she goes or stays when she's there?
No, I don't know all of that information. I know when she has come, people from my staff, when we do crusades, they stay in a hotel. Yeah.
What do you mean when you do crusades?
Well, I do crusades all over the country, so if I carry our team to St. Louis, of course we've done that, where we have a bigger crusade than the team from Taylor and Arizona and other places come in, and they get hotels.
How many times do you have crusades in St. Louis?
Well, now with my schedule, it's only once a year now, because I can't hold them 4 times a year like I used to.
What is Deborah Frazier's relationship to JMMI?
She is, first of all, a wonderful mother. And
I'm asking about JMMI.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm getting there. Just hold your horse. So, and she really is a worker, a very diligent worker in the ministry.
What does that mean?
Well, she helped service people, help people.
What is?
help
Tell me what
feeding
that
the
means.
poor.
Tell me
feeding
what
the
that
poor.
means. Where do they feed the poor?
Well, you know, before, of course, that the food bank moved out, she was also helping in that with our ministry.
Okay, I don't know anything about.
A food bank, you don't understand that?
No, you said before it moved out. I don't know anything about a food
Oh, yeah,
bank
yeah.
moving out.
Yeah, well, we had
Out
a-
of where?
Out of our building. They wanted to get a bigger place. So, but for about,
All right.
what, 6 years, we housed a food bank.
Hold on a sec.
Okay, when you,
Food bank moved out of your building. What building are you talking
oh,
about?
Taylor.
Taylor.
Here in Taylor, yes.
So there was a food bank
Yes.
in what building?
In the Taylor building, on Superior Road. That. But it's no longer there. But you know, those are the kind of services she would do, where she would help. Our ministry would join with them. Like I say, I let the building out to different ministries to do different multiple things. So they would
For
bring,
free?
Yes, for free.
Okay, so there was a food bank, and you're saying that Deborah Frazier worked at the food bank?
She helped some. She didn't just work all the time, but that's the kind of work that she would do.
When did the
Without
food
it.
bank leave?
When was that? Earlier this year. They went to try to get a bigger place, I guess.
What was it called? Food bank?
You know, that's the name they
Yeah, yeah.
used. That's the name they used. So I don't.
They have a sign that said food bank?
Yeah, probably something like that.
Well, I mean, do you know or not know?
I just don't. I'm not really sure. All I know is that that's the common word that they would use, and they would bring gleaners in, 18-wheeler truck, and just feed hundreds of families.
Do you know what agency was involved in this? Who organized the food
It was
bank?
a ministry that was connected with ours, so I don't have all that information.
Well, when somebody comes to you and says, "Can we use part of your building
Yeah,
to feed the poor?" Do you ask who they are?
of course.
Okay, and who were these folks?
They were a ministry that came in. You know, they were more so feeding the poor.
Right, but
doing
by
more
what
than-
name were they known?
Okay. See, they. You know, I don't know. They didn't go by a name like that. I know they were established in.
That doesn't make sense. Let me hit him. Let me hit him with some Detective Carpenter. Let me be real with you, Daryl. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. You are the pastor of this ministry. It's kind of like how a mob boss is like, "Hey, nothing happens in this family business of ours that I don't know about. And if I find out something that I don't know about, it's going to be some problems." How do you expect us to sit here and believe that you can't even remember the name of a ministry that used your building for a food bank? And they just moved out earlier this year. This isn't something from 10 years ago. They just moved out earlier this year and you can't remember their name? I find that very hard to believe.
And incorporated. I could just tell you their names as individuals, but their organization, we were really covering them and supporting that and helping that.
What do you mean you were covering them?
Well,
What does that
you know,
mean?
they needed a place to do that out of and a place to bring the 18-wheeler to
But
feed many
you
people.
said they were incorporated?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But the
yes?
their name, yes. But their name, I don't know their name. I don't know their official name. I just know it was a ministry team, and they were doing this work.
Okay, when Miss Frazier goes to St. Louis,
Mm-hmm.
what does she do for you or the ministry or whoever?
Well, when she goes to St. Louis, she works in the crusades. Like if I'm having a service there, she ushers.
Where would this physically be?
The crusade
Right.
at a friend of mine, a bishop's church, who has a large facility in the suburb.
In the suburb?
Mm-hmm.
What city?
Florissant, Missouri.
Can you spell that again? F-L?
Florissant.
What's the bishop's name?
Bishop Matthew Ferguson.
And what's the name of the church?
Abundant Life Fellowship.
And do you have an address?
I really don't know it.
So the crusade goes only once a year, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, but Debbie Fraser goes to St. Louis and works for you much more frequently than once a year.
Of course.
Okay. So she does a crusade once a year, and when would that be?
We usually do it right after the spring, or
After the spring?
yeah.
You
You
mean
talking about
in
the
summer?
crusade? And you talking about the crusade in St. Louis, right?
Right.
Okay, yeah.
So
After
would
the
that mean
spring-
summer?
Yeah, you probably say the beginning of summer.
You don't have it the same time every year?
No, we can't. The schedule is too sporadic to do that.
Okay, and how long does it last?
About 3 days.
And what exactly would Deborah Fraser do to assist in the crusade?
She ushers. She mostly and any type of help that is needed by anybody coming in assistance, she assists them.
All right, give me an example of what that would mean.
Like if someone coming in a wheelchair or something like that, and she's helping them. She's a great parent.
A great parent?
Yes, she's a great parent
Okay,
and a great help.
what does that have to do with what she does at St. Louis?
Oh, I think her being a great parent has a lot to do with the way her character is in the ministry too.
Do you realize she has only supervised visits with her children?
Oh, I know all of that. Yes.
Okay. She talks to you about that?
Okay, maybe I'm confused. Who is this Deborah character, man? It sounds like she's being investigated, which directly led to this man being investigated. So maybe there's a lot that I don't remember. If anybody knows the full story of this, like, leave it in the comments, like, for real. I'm going to try to do my own research too, but like this is actually sounding kind of crazy.
Should I?
You don't have to
answer
look
something
at
like that?
your.
Because I mean, at first it seemed like, oh, a member of the congregation was fed up because, you know, they were talking about all her wire transfers and things of that nature. Now it's sounding like whoever this Deborah character is, got herself into some trouble, which somehow linked up to David Taylor. I don't know.
Lawyer, I'm asking you the question.
Well, I'm going to object
Yeah.
based on privilege between a priest and penitent.
Yes.
Priest?
He's got the priest-penitent privilege. He doesn't have to answer any questions specific to conversations with his members.
Exactly.
I don't think he's a priest.
It's
So are
called the
you-
priest-penitent privilege.
I-
Doesn't have to
I'm-
be a priest. You can be a minister.
Do you have a cite
or
for that?
rabbi. No, I don't.
I'm just going to make, again,
Does she put a
there's a
pat?
certain decorum in this deposition. I'm going to raise an objection.
Does she-
There's two things that are happening with your client. One, he's glaring. Two, he's making comments. It's inappropriate. That's unprofessional. You're the
Right.
attorney. If he wants to participate, he shouldn't be glaring, shaking his head, rolling his eyes, and making comments. He's allowed to be here. He's not. That's not appropriate
And
for
I
him to be doing.
concur
Okay.
in that objection.
That's fine.
Let's take a 5-minute break. I need to use your restroom.
Go ahead. It's 4:01. Just for.
358.
Okay, so that's part one. We'll have another video for part two, but this is getting juicy. So the first one, this first part, had a lot to do with that residential center. Now, I know as this deposition continues to go along, they start getting into how he's spending the money on like expensive clothes for himself, and he has the lamest excuse for why he's doing it. It gets worse and worse, right? It just gets worse and worse. So we'll have that second episode coming soon, but for now, just enjoy this one. And like I said, if you guys want to do some research or some digging up on the true story behind this, feel free to do so and let me know what you guys end up finding. And I'll try to find some stuff myself. But for now, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.